Ritalin! This episode needs Ritalin! Oh, goodness. This episode was energetic, to say the least. This episode opens up with a pony named Cheese Sandwich, voiced by Weird Al Yankovic. Honestly, I'm not surprised he's in here, seeing as he was one of the first celebrity bronies and closely worked with some of the staff. It was only a matter of time. He did well, though I've got a few things to say about his performance in this. On the one hand, hearing him just speak, he actually seems like a unique pony and not a celebrity avatar, which happens a lot with popular actors or singers who voice roles like this. But when he starts singing, I don't see Cheese Sandwich, all I see is Weird Al Pony. This isn't a bad thing at all, and not a fault of the voice actor in any way. It's just that I've heard Weird Al so much growing up, it's hard for me to not place the voice. As good as an actor and singer as he is, Al can't disguise it while singing. It was still good though, don't get me wrong. We're given hints at something called a cheese sense, which relates to Pinkie sense. If you see my review of Feeling Pinkie Keen with Zane Russell, we detail what we think the Pinkie sense is, basically that as an Earth pony, Pinkie receives signals or warnings from the Earth due to her connection to it, and it manifests as twitches. This seems to reinforce that Earth pony magic manifests as something, and it seems with each pony it manifests as something different. With Cheese, he seems to be able to predict where ponies get together and celebrate something. With farmers like Applejack, I assume that the Earth gives them warnings on where to plant crops and how to take care of their trees and stuff. Back to the episode. As it appears, Rainbow Dash is having a birthday and gets a huge party from both Pinkie and Cheese. Great, another ego boost for her. Pinkie soon feels outclassed by Cheese and starts to feel useless. Don't laugh because I say this with a straight face. Pinkie has serious issues. Some might notice that I like to assign characters a virtue and a vice. I know it's not an end-all be-all about their personality, but still I like to do it. Like for instance, Applejack's virtue is fortitude due to her integrity, and her vice is pride due to reasons I've stated in previous videos. I have virtues and vices assigned in my head for each character, but this episode changed my thoughts on Pinkie's vice. The more I think about it, I don't think Pinkie's vice is pride despite what the episode tells me. Most would say the next obvious choice would be gluttony due to her constant efforts to enjoy a life of overabundance and her tendency to take more than she needs. Honestly, I think Pinkie's vice is wrath. Pinkie is driven by her emotions and has almost no control over them, and they cause her to make enormous leaps in logic, and she always seems to come to a negative conclusion. She takes a lot of things at face value and doesn't really consider context whenever she hears something. She's very confrontational, antagonistic, and even violent at points. And whenever she fails, she takes it really hard and likes to give up. She has this almost childish outlook on the world. That being said, it was nice to see her bounce back. Once Pinkie fell back onto her memories of the good times she had, she became motivated again. Granted, she was motivated for the wrong reasons, but she was still motivated. And Pinkie challenges Cheese Sandwich to a goof-off, and apparently there's a manual about this, implying this has been done before between two other party ponies, implying being a party pony is a commonplace thing in Equestria, and there's a structure to this sort of thing. I gotta ask, does throwing parties bring in an actual salary? Given the costs of hiring construction crews, renting vehicles, costs of supplies and decorations, and sometimes collateral damage, possibly suing, where do they get the money for this stuff? Pinkie has an occupation as a baker, kind of stretching the salary part there, but what about Cheese Sandwich? How does he get paid? Donations? Are they paid by the government? Is there some sort of party pony tax that pays them? Who knows? I have to say, the goof-off is probably one of my favorite moments in MLP history. One thing I'm fairly surprised that hasn't been explored more in media is the music battle. Some of my favorite moments in songs, video games, and movies come from music battles like Scott Pilgrim, Guitar Hero, Devil Went Down to Georgia, Rhythm Thief. And this is no different as the highlight of this episode. Let me put this in perspective. We just bore witness to epic ham-to-ham musical combat between Pinkie Pie and Weird Al. My life is complete. One thing I like to say, I am so glad Cheese Sandwich was merely an antagonist and not a villain. He wasn't maliciously trying to replace Pinkie Pie, he just wanted to work on a party. It was Pinkie who initiated the conflict. Cheese didn't know what Pinkie was feeling. His skills were just challenged out of the blue and he accepted. And quite honestly, I don't think my childhood could take having Weird Al being a bad guy. There's a couple moments in this that really sell this episode. One in particular is with Rainbow Dash. She's very confident in her abilities, but it's nice to see even she has a pressure threshold. It seems that whenever Rainbow Dash lacks the time, or in this case, shotgunned with something she isn't prepared for, she tends to let the pressure get to her. Also, I get the feeling that some of Celestia is rubbing off on Twilight, and that she already knows the answer to the problems her friends are facing, but she's letting her friends figure things out for themselves. After asking Pinkie about helping Cheese set up Rainbow's party, I get the feeling that Twilight knew what she was going through, but instead she opts to let Pinkie solve the issue on her own. After all, show don't tell. Another little moment that interested me was the quick interaction with Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon. Diamond Tiara seems to be in the habit of pushing Silver Spoon around, and Silver's complete lack of surprise when Diamond pushed her sundae off kind of implies she's used to Diamond being a jerk, and her retaliation seems to show that she deals with this sort of behavior from Diamond frequently. Not only are they jerks to everyone else, they're jerks to each other? Jeez. And I know some people are going to complain that Pinkie's friends weren't being very encouraging to Pinkie. Okay, 1. They didn't know what Pinkie was going through. Seeing as how she tried to hide her feelings from everyone, how are they supposed to know how she was feeling about Cheese Sandwich? 2. Rarity's comment about his skills being superior doesn't mean she was saying he was better. Superior isn't strictly a direct comparison word. Superior is also a synonym for high quality, high standard, expertly, etc. Even if Rarity was comparing, maybe she was comparing his work to other party ponies she's seen. After all, I just confirmed there are more party ponies in Equestria than just Cheese and Pinkie, and I know this because I take this show way too seriously.